Hello, hello, hello. We are back for some more AEW. Me on my phone, trying to work this all out. I was just looking at this now and I was trying to search. I was like, alright, it's Christmas Day. They didn't run a Dynamite on this day. So I'm going to book it. I'm going to kind of do a little show to ourselves. Excuse me. And so I was trying to Google, I was like, alright, the next one is January 1st, 2018. Put it in. I realised I got the wrong year, how silly. It's January 1st, 2019. Looked again, not there, and I was like, holy cannoli. This, I know we ran very few shows, but this could actually be the longest I've gotten into a save, starting at September 2018, and then next week we're going to be in January 2020. It just seems to have flew by. I know we barely booked 20 shows. Who really cares about that? But it just seems to have flew by, which I think is a whole host of fun. Let's propose alliance loan with Rev Pro. Is there anyone we wouldn't mind? View the roster. Osprey could be a fun one. Just to bring on for the show. Mike Bailey, Matt Riddle. Luke Dragon Phoenix. Oh, Curtis Chapman. Timu, how are you? How are you? How are you? I hope you are doing well. You know what, just for this show, Alliance Loan, can we bring in Chris Brooks? Propose loan. Nice. And Kid Lycos. We could kind of do a 3v3. So who was in their little... Fine, got back into... Yeah, same old, just the usual. I feel that, brother. I feel that. Is it like Schadenfreude or something? Schadenfreude. Rev Pro. View profile. Stables. No. Teams. There it is. Or was it in WXW that this was going on? I feel like it was kind of all over. Was Dragunov part of it? Oh, who's the other one? Lucky Kid. That's not a real stable. That's fine. We'll bring Lucky Kid in. Depending on if we can get him on some kind of loan. Nice to hear that you're working on the mod still. I think sometimes one does kind of need some time off. Who else was in that group? Probably just can search Chris Brooks. He's kind of living some weird little dream, dossing around DDT in Japan. Korea. So there was CCK with Travis Banks. Don't really want to get Trav Banks in. Could bring in Drew Parker if Drew Parker's about. Championships on a comp. I decided to make some big changes and change up the whole law. Jesus. That does sound like a... One would say an unnecessarily large thing, but I mean, if you feel better after doing it... I'm trying to search Chris Brooks and it comes up with what happened to Chris Canyon. Tag teams and stables, here we go. Thanks, Cage Match. There we go. So who else was in that stable? Chris Brooks, Kid Lykos, Cal Fletcher, John Gresham, Mark Davis, Tim Thatcher, Walter. Do they have John Gresham here? Doesn't look like it. We'll just bring Fletcher. Not that it means anything. There we go. And also New Japan, let's bring in Tomohiro Ishii and... Can we just bring in Okada? No. Hasn't Kitamura retired or passed away? Can't remember which. Okada's got severe concussion. Should we just bring in Tetsuya Naito? What was it that you specifically wanted to change up for the law? I think everything else should be fine. There's always something I need to do, but let's run this little dynamite. Team meeting's fine. DDP ran drills for 10 women. Cody ran it for 16 men. Emi Sakura passed on tips to Riho. Britt Baker got in an argument with Excalibur. Emi Sakura and Ray Horace are dating. That's cute. Emi Sakura organised a poker tournament. Sadie Gibbs brought pizza. Nice. So it's Christmas Day, so we'll kind of do a little bit more of a chill kind of match. So let's do some kind of 10-man Christmas Battle Royale. Does anyone get a title shot for whatever reason? On the so the AEW Fatal 4-Way, I know about that. I added a hero to one of the main characters, and then also realised that since the character is a woman and has a future debuting daughter at the time, oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that does seem like a whole lot of, like, you would have to change quite a lot. Too much going on. Let's... I think we can do a 3v3. Let's have Chris Brooks, Kid Lykos, and Kyle Fletcher. Taking on Face Mail. They can maybe take on Private Party. Is there anyone recognisable that makes this a little better? I will click on that after the stream. Thank you very much. I am interested. I am, like, part of me is just like oddly, not oddly, is just kind of quite invested in this save now that you've been doing it. Oh, this mod, sorry. Yeah, we can do Private Party and Tommy Dreamer, that's fine. And we'll stick Kyle Fletcher over everyone. Perfect. So we can do a 2v2 of Cody and Darby taking on Chris Jericho and Sammy. That's a fine enough match if you ask me. 20 minutes. Darby goes over Sammy. Perfect. Let's also have... Who's in that Fatal 4-Way? So the Fatal 4-Way is a title match. So Nyla Rose, Shida, Britt Baker, and Riho. So we need Nyla, Baker, and Shida. It's another 3v3, too much. Let's just have a 2v2. That works fine. Women, heels, Britt Baker and Nyla Rose. Take on faces. Big Swole. Brandon needs to be a heel probably. Big Swole and Jordan Grace. And that kind of gets them a reason to be in the fatal 4-way. So steal the show in a wild brawl. This one can probably steal the show. And then a wild brawl. We can stick John Mox over who did we get from New Japan? Was it? Oh, we got Ishii. That should be fine. Put that there. And then we can also have... Am I doing 2 A-tag matches? Nah, we'll just do another one. That's fine. Did we get Tetsuya Nato? Well, I can put him with PAC. To take on the team of Daniels and Scorpio. Stick PAC over. And how many matches do we do on average? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's fine. I added Von Erichs as future debuts, Sons of the Dallas promoter. You can't do... I like that. I like that there's parallels, there's inspired characters. Let's have MJF take on Macross. Perfect. Maybe put that there, and on the pre-show, let's have Wardlow take on face, male, Cole Carter. Boop, boop. Yeah, I think the men's side of things has a bit too many, maybe. Yeah, I'm sure it's good. Like, wrestling's gone on for so long. You can probably create a badass wrestler and then just think it's basically written John Moxley, you know what I mean? I wouldn't put too much pressure on yourself for originality when everything's been done, you know what I mean? Like, regardless, people drop parallels that aren't there. But yeah, I feel like when it comes to women's wrestling, that it hasn't been around, even though it has been around as long, it hasn't been around as long in the mainstream, so maybe it's easier to come up with... Oh, sorry, I'm drinking juice and suddenly all over the place. Easier to come up with more original things. I had such plans for Morishima, but just haven't done anything yet. Let's have Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus beat heels. Alan Angels. Good morning, Mr. Rain. How are you? How are you? And Preston Vance. They're not the Dark Order yet. And obviously we have to stick Jungle Boy over. Perfect. Let's just do a little AEW Dynamite opening. Just keep that there so don't have to type it as much every time. Save those couple of minutes. I need to figure out. I feel like I can use Bailey. I don't know if I'm going to use AJ Styles. Do we have him on an exclusive ring? It's other people. Oh yeah. So I don't have him under an exclusive ring. So if I do nothing with him, it's not too bad. Good, thank you. I have not heard that. I get it to a degree. I'm not going to be like an AEW kind of shill and being like, oh, everything they do is fine, but if WWE does it, it's awful. But you know, I feel like he needed to cull some wrestlers anyway. Who's been released? I'm trying to find an article on it, but the Google News section is not necessarily the easiest. Yeah. Yeah, WWE lost me a while ago, like. Yeah, I can't seem to see. Oh, maybe Paige Van Zandt was in. AEW. Sorry, I'm trying to find this news. Can't seem to find it. AEW Dynamite opening. I just need to come up with some general hype bits since the show didn't actually happen. It is confirmed that Darby get his rematch against Cody next week. Just Tony Khan, character development, Cody and Darby. John Moxley mulls over the Bear Bronson. Oh, Nyla Rose is gone. And the Martin brothers. I knew that Bronson was gone. And Abaddon. I didn't know about Nyla Rose, that's a shame. Nyla Rose was such a staple of the thing. The Martin brothers I kind of get. They were really good for a moment of time and then just seemed to get injured and could never really squeeze back into the roster. Like, I remember seeing I think it was a shot of them recently and they had like a pilot's gimmick or something. It didn't work for me. I wonder which one of the Joshis it was. And obviously Mariah May is pretty much likely gone. I thought it was also a shame when Saraya went, but I've always felt like she belonged in WWE. Like her full rise and being called up and all that stuff, it was always perfect. Jon Moxley mulls over the offer from the Inner Circle and is non-committal. So just Jon Moxley cutting a promo on Chris Jericho, Cody, Kenny. Moxley says he's out for blood and asks if there anyone in the back. Yeah, it is hard having a huge roster. I do kind of feel him though. It's same with WWE, NXT. I kind of feel them because like when you get into like a TW save, exactly the same as this one. There's bare people that I just haven't used yet. There isn't. I think all the companies, all of them, need to just release people. Or at least let as many people that they're not really using take independent bookings, if they want to. Some people just want to cash the paycheck, and that's also fair. I really like Cornette, and I like listening to him about historical things, but I don't have the mental energy to hear him get angry about things all the time. Because dude's so interesting and historical, and I really like him. But when I hear him yap on about modern wrestling, I am just drained of all energy. Moxley says out for blood and asks if there's anyone in the back. Man enough to wrestle him. Some gimmick of Jon Moxley. Yeah, man, I'd love to just hang out with him, nice meal, kind of get him to chill, because so interesting and such a safe of knowledge. But I feel like when he gets heated, whether it's a character or not, I just don't have time for it. Sometimes I am like, take it down a level, and then let's actually chat. Jon Moxley, he's kind of loosely cutting this promo on Jericho, Darby, Cody, and is answered by Tomohiro Ishii. This is kind of a retconned, kind of not a official episode, since this one never actually happened because it's Christmas Day. Backstage, the best friends exchange Christmas presents with SCU until a Dark Order video airs. Chuck, Trent, Orange Cassidy, Chris Daniels. I had to do something Christmassy, come on. Frankie Kazarian, Scorpio Sky, and then Alex Reynolds, John Silver. Backstage. Cool. Tony Khan announces due to a conflict with Statlander next week will be a fatal four-way with the winner taking on Statlander the week after. It's Riho defending against Nyla, Baker, and Shida. I'd love to ask Cornette if he ever had any plans. Christmas Day, baby. Christmas Day wrestling. I respect whenever a company gives them Christmas Day off. Riho off screen, so is Hikaru Shida, and I just thought this was just booking it. No, that's not me. That's not me. Got money to make, brother. I can't be doing this. I also thought it wasn't worth losing the pop. Yeah, it wasn't worth losing the pop and cancelling the show. So I was like, right, I'll just book it. We'll pretend. Look at this, I'm losing money every month. I can't afford this. Lost $1 million one month. Not fully, because I hired too many people, I think. So Tony Khan announces due to a conflict with Statlander next week will be a fatal 4-way. Perfect. PAC introduces the only other man. It would be nice to have a simple one-button skip show feature. Yeah, it would be nice if it was date specific. So, because obviously now it's a real calendar, which is perfect. It would be good if it gives you the option to skip the show because it's Christmas, New Year's Eve or day. Or maybe that's it. They seem like the only really big holidays. PAC introduced the only other man who thinks like he does. Tetsuya Naito. Or if like other companies, or even a reminder the week before, like, hey, yeah. Like, I feel like now they have the real calendar that does work. So PAC, cutting a promo, Tetsuya Naito, her development. Boop, boop. Hangman and Frankie Zarian save SCU from a post-match beatdown at the hands of PAC and Naito. Yeah. That would be helpful. But I I understand it from like a TV point of view as well, because I don't really know how that actually works in broadcasting. Maybe the taping, maybe just plan that ahead. Daniels, PAC. I guess not every TV show is live, is it? MJF instructs Wardlow to throw Cross out of the ring as he talks about leaving Cody's shadow. Something like that. I don't know. I'm not the smartest of guys. MJF cut the promo on Cody. Wardlow attacker Matt Cross victim. Alright, I've moved the wrong things around. So that goes here. This needs to go here. That goes there. Cody Rhodes. And the Cody Rhodes. And the... I'm going to do that on the Cody Rhodes family. That sounds silly. And the AEW family wish everyone a Merry Christmas. Got the promo. Promo. Yeah, probably more character development. He is set as 6 foot. It does say on Wikipedia he's 6 foot. Being next to both and can confirm... This is a Reddit thing. Being next to both can confirm Hangman Page is slightly taller at 6 foot and Omega is 5'10". Celebrity Heights does reference Kenny Omega to be 5'10". Nice to know I'm closer to Kenny Omega in height than further away. Brandy's fine. Doesn't need to be cutting a promo. That's enough of the Christmas ending. Perfect. Pre-show. Dynamite. Brooks and the boys. Darby gets the rematch. Moxley's out for Bud. Ishii. Mox mulls over. Best friend. Present exchange. Women. Tony Khan. PAC. Nato. Save. MGF. Wardlow. Main event. Perfect. There we go. In a pre-show about that terrible wrestling and non-existent crowd heat, Wardlow defeated Cole Carter in 4-3 with a Splash Mountain powerbomb. Jurassic Express defeated Alan Angels and Preston Vance in 6:39 when Jungle Boy pinned Alan Angels. With the Dynamite Christmas opening, and which had decent wrestling but didn't have much heat, Brooksy, Kid Lycos and Carl Fletcher defeated Tommy Dreamer and Private Party when Fletcher pinned Mark Quinn with a fucking struggling today, with a Grimstone. I just want to say I love reading. I read so much. I've finished 14 books this year so far. For whatever reason, reading out loud and just trying to get this little bit, I flub it up constantly. It's confirmed that Darby will get his rematch against Cody next week. Moxley says he's out for blood and asks if there's anyone in the back man enough to wrestle him. And there is. It's Tomohiro Ishii. In a good wild brawl, Mox defeated Ishii in 10:22 with a bully choke. John Moxley fucking mulls over the offer from the Inner Circle and it's non-committal. Backstage, best friends exchange Christmas gifts. I think it's because my mind goes faster, or my mouth goes faster than my mind, and I just kind of look at bits and presume what it's going to say, then gets thrown off when it isn't actually that. Best friends exchange Christmas presents with SCU until a Dark Order video airs. Nyla Rose and Britt Baker defeated Big Swole and Jordan Grace when Baker pinned Swole with a curb stomp. Today's not my day. I was going to come into this stream being like, I'm such a committed streamer. I'm streaming every day. All's going to plan. I'm even doing one of the popular saves. Booking through my phone instead of because I don't have the second monitor. Here I am, I can't even speak. I even uploaded a Tony Hawk's video yesterday to YouTube. They normally do better, but I just heard one of those Windows noises and didn't know why. What was I going to say? Yeah, this is just like a side tangent in the middle of this show. So I kind of edited and rendered a lot of Tony Hawk's videos yesterday. And when I feel like you can watch the Underground 1 videos and you can hear that I'm actually enjoying it, and then you go into the Underground 2 ones and I sound like I am having the least amount of fun. And I remember not really having much fun playing that game again. Which is a shame, because it used to be my all-time favourites. And then American Wasteland is going to be very similar. Maybe I played too much Tony Hawk's too quickly, but I remember there is a specific stream that I'll have to edit soon. I think it's like an hour and a half long, and I am mostly in silence because I'm just not enjoying that game. It's again shame. Shocking how your what you like changes over time. But I loved Underground 1 and did again. Tony Khan announces due to a conflict with Statlander, next week will be a fatal four-way, with the winner taking on Statlander the week after. It's Riho defending against Nyla, Baker and Shida. PAC introduces the only other man who thinks like he does, Tetsuya Naito. In a bout which had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, Naito and PAC defeated SCU when PAC submitted Sky with the Brutalizer. Hangman Page and Frankie Kazarian save SCU from a post-match beatdown at the hands of PAC and Naito. MJF defeated Matt Cross in 646 by pinfall with a Heatseeker, and instructs Wardlow to throw Cross out the ring as he talks about leaving Cody's shadow. Finally, in our main event, Cody and Darby defeated the Inner Circle when Darby pinned Guevara with a coffin drop. Darby debuted a new spot. Cody Rhodes and the AEW family wish everyone a Merry Christmas. Solid, 75, I'll take that. I think that's one of our better shows. Better. Jude London. Jude London's so good. Where is he wrestling now? Is Jude London in... Jude London. Is Jude London in NXT? Or is he injured? Is Jude good for the bladder? No, I feel like he was in New Japan USA. No, looks like man's just back in Australia this year. I was going to say they were on Impact, weren't they? So I don't know why they haven't been. Maybe they're struggling with visas. NWA did a tour of Australia. Did not know that. I like that they were in the Super Junior Tag League though. How did we do against NXT? I actually started a WWE and NXT 2018 save, and it was just the least amount of fun. Oh, sorry, I started it last night and it just kind of sucked. Like, as soon as I was booking Randy Orton against Jeff Hardy in 2018, I was just like, oh. Oh, Kimberly and Zachary Wentz tied the knot. It's good to know that she didn't kind of make him lose his job in this universe. Perfect. Let's continue to the next Dynamite. The real Dynamite. The Dynamite we have. Which doesn't actually look like too bad of a show to book, to be fair. I feel like we need Chavo Guerrero at some point. But I just can't remember why. Sorry, I can't stop yawning. So the first Dynamite of 2020 opens up with a highlight package for 2019. Yeah, that's a fair point. No one has ever said I think we need Chavo Guerrero. Who are Chavo, man? That's what you get when your brother is one of cousin, uncle, nephew, is one of the single most charismatic wrestlers in the world. Probably one of the few people that could rival Randy Savage. Chavo Guerrero is the Lanny Poffo. Outlasted their respective siblings, but to a fraction of the career. That's awful. That was a really mean thing to say. I'm sorry to both Lanny Poffo and Chavo Guerrero. Though, to be fair, of all of them, Chavo's the only one who's still alive. That man's cashing checks somewhere. So for the first time in the past, 4 years, I've been staying up till 1 AM every night. Either watching Martin Scorsese films, or I started a 98 save in my own time. I've just made it to the Rumble. Haven't finished booking the Rumble yet. Doing what I usually do, booking to real life. And I was just... I can't even think what I'm saying. Up late, booking that. And then I still like to wake up at 8 o'clock because I hate wasting the day. Is what happens when I'm left home alone. Is Simmons taking a lifetime, isn't it? I'm trying to fill the gap. This is the least charismatic I've been in a while. I really like the gimmick. Well, it's not even necessarily a gimmick, just the lifestyle of luchadors not giving away their real names. Really like it. Do you know what I'd like to book? About 2003-ish WWE with Ultimo Dragon and the debut of Rey Mysterio. Because really early WWE Rey Mysterio, I think, rocks. I think he was so cool at the start. Still cool now, but it's fun seeing him with less tattoos, in my opinion. And everything he did was fresh, it was mental. I know there's a 2004 mod, but it's just slightly out. I know there's a 2000s mod. That's too far away. I'd take an 02 and build my way up. Shunma Tatsumata. Don't they wrestle for GLEAT now? I believe. Love GLEAT. I love the whole idea of GLEAT. It's something I should have got more into and watched more, but I find it hard to stick and I find the best wrestling I can watch. This is simming is a lifetime. The best wrestling I can watch is kind of the trash 98 kind of stuff. Or the short 80s, 1 hour TV shows. Because I just find myself wandering. Oh, we're going to get the end of the year awards as well. Oh, don't sim past them. It shouldn't, should it? Can I press space? Try and stop it advancing. This is where it comes up with... Can you see... Does the TEW IX not responding pop up? It does. Nice. Wait for the program to respond. That should be fine. Like, I've been thinking of watching, I think it was The King of the Ring one year, I can't remember which one, with Ken Shamrock. It's the one where Vince McMahon is kind of like, he's looking after Mick Foley and trying to make him more corporate, only to get screwed over. Oh, is it Fully Loaded? I used to have it on VHS, I can't remember. I used to go mad at my local video shop for VHSs of wrestling, and this was like long into when DVDs were a thing. But I was like, I want all these. I wanted all the VHSs from like 97, 98. Earlier, if I could. I remember I used to have all the Survivor series, see right, on VHS. I don't know what I can talk about for us to get to know each other. I think for tea tonight I'm going to make a burger. Last burger I made was a bacon cheeseburger. It was fine. I feel like I'm trying to recreate the double bacon cheeseburger from Burger King, but vegan, and it doesn't always hit the same. Akeem Young, is that one of... It's a Jen. I thought that was Reza, and one of the authors of Pain. So, Wrestler of the Year, Hiroshi Tanahashi. Female Wrestler, Asuka. Company, Nuge. Best Male Wrestler, or Male Tag Team, sorry, was Cesaro and Sheamus, that's fair. Female Tag Team of the Year was Hikaru and Sato Miura. Match of the Year was Ibushi against Tanahashi. Show of the Year was New Year's Dash. Does that let us click it? Show history. New Japan, New Year's Dash. Oh, literally first show of the year. Naito defeated Omega, fair. Juice defeated Kota, that's unnecessarily good. Jay White defeated Evil. Goto defeated ZSJ. I've got so many gimmicks. It's like modern day New Japan. Kushida defeated Taichi. Cody defeated Nick Jackson. Fair, actually, this does slap. Match of the year. Off with the G1 Climax. Male young wrestler, Dragon Lee. Female, Tessa Blanchard. Boo! Everyone boo this woman. Veteran, Jushin. Female veteran, Mickey James. Most improved, IWRG. Fair. Has an Australian suicide passed away now? It's sad that you can like just scroll down this list. Look at someone and be like, oh, they've passed away now. They've passed away now. It's like everyone well before their time. Male independent wrestler was Walter. That's fair. Female was Tsukasa Fujimoto. Male manager, Eli Drake. Female manager, Zelina Vega. Male play-by-play, Tom Hannafin. Is he the guy who was like texting a woman, I would like to face fuck you? Female play-by-play, I think that is him. I think that's the genuine story there. Female play-by-play, Renee. Male colour, Nigel. Female colour, Mickey. Male referee is Dan Echoes. Female was Mio Shirai. Solid. Who's new that's debuted? Story type. Is it New Workers? Oh, New Workers. Keanu Reeves has entered the wrestling world. Right. King Rex. Is King Rex real? Is King Rex... I don't know. Jack Talos, Gigi Ray, Becca. Conor McGregor's entered the wrestling world. Who's Peter John Ramos? Has he transitioned? Oh, best viewers. Thank you, Granny Baby. Granny Baby Sitter, my apologies. Jasmine Allure, is that Alia? Maybe not. Elise Ashton, is she Kathy Kelly? I'm probably just confusing a lot of people. Robin Renegade, Lexi Nair, Haley J, Charlotte Renegade, Russell Anderson. But I don't know how many people these are gens or. See Lil Kraken. It's kind of a great name. Is it bad? I honestly don't know which of these are real wrestlers. Oh, there's Action Andretti. And which are just kind of random gens. Why has Ray Horace got such big issues? What's he angry about now? You're furious at the booking of one match. End of the year awards for AEW have been released. Oh, you get your own end of the year awards. That's cool. I didn't know that was a thing. So male wrestler of the year was Kenny Omega. That's fair. Female wrestler was Riho. Male tag team of the year, Bandido and Penta. Male young wrestler, Bandido. Has everyone wrestled more than 10 matches? Some of these are literally just jumping into the 10 match category. Male veteran, Chris Jericho. Match of the year, last year was Walter against ZSJ. This year it was Chris Jericho against Cody Rhodes at Full Gear. Card of the year, All Out. Male manager of the year, Tully. Play-by-play Excalibur, colour Excalibur. Referee, Earl Hebner. Female referee, Audrey Edwards. I like that. I'm glad we get our awards. Garcia's returned. Rio's been injured. Oh, ICW No Hold Barred is opened. Perfect. Let's continue. Alright, no one gets the night off. We can remain in Daly's place. No need for a booking team meeting. Chris Statlander created a fun atmosphere. Brian Cage told some hilarious stories. Ricky Morton got annoyed at Excalibur. DDP ran some drills. So did Cody. Marco Stunt has a character idea. Alex Reynolds has a creative finish. So does Matt Cross. Daniels has been passing on tips to Austin Gunn. Emmy's been passing on tips to Riho. Nice. Well done, everyone. So we have the AEW Dynamite opening. Completely forgot that I'd already done that. Video, 3 minutes. I reckon we can get Bayley into this. I don't know about AJ Styles. So, highlight video of AEW in 2019. Just another hype, pre-taped video, 3 minutes. We'll just pick wrestlers for this one. Kong, Bandido, Chuck Taylor, Darby, Dustin, Kaz, Hangman, Kota, Matt Jackson, MJF, Nick Jackson. Perfect. Following that, we have a vignette hyping up Darby Allin. Let's just do Darby and Cody, character development, pre-taped, video, 3 minutes backstage. And instantly we go straight into Cody against Darby Allin. Cody charges at Allin, but he moves and Cody hits the exposed turnbuckle. Alan climbs the top and goes for the top coffin drop again, but Cody gets the knees up. As Arn was on the apron screaming at him to do it. As Rhodes rolls him up to get the pin, and Rhodes rolls him up to get the pin. 13, this match could probably steal the show and have the victor be Cody Rhodes. It's keep Darby strong, because he's quite well protected, and a flash pinfall. SCU are cutting a promo when Sammy Guevara approaches them and taunts Chris Daniels about not having it anymore. SCU are cutting a promo when Guevara comes in and says Daniels doesn't have it anymore. He then challenges him to a match next week. Scorpio, Frankie, Christopher Daniels, and Sammy Guevara backstage. We then have our fatal four-way between Nyla, Riho, Hikura, and Britt Baker. This match can probably be the Wild Brawl, with the victor being Riho, retaining their title. Shida hits the Michinoku driver on Rose, but she kicks out and Shida goes for the flying knee again, but eats a super kick from Baker. Baker hits the Russian leg sweep on Shida and pulls her into the lockjaw. Riho breaks it up and rolls Baker up with the jackknife for the pin. Rose attacks Riho after the match and puts her through a table. Nyla, attacker, Riho, victim. Not Rick Knox. Not Ricky Gibson. Storyline. Deathmatch chairman. We can also add Kip and Penelope. Angle. Janela is backstage when he is low blowed by Penelope Ford. I don't know why I'm trying to sound everything out as if I'm the first person ever to speak. Penelope Ford and Kip Saban. Backstage, Joey victim. In fact, character development should do. Penelope. And Kip. Nice. Evil Uno says the elite have fallen and soon you shall see the true reach of the Dark Order. Evil Uno cut the promo on Cody. I don't know. Who else is in the kind of Dark Order storyline? We can put Cody in this in a minor way. Stu, non-speaking. Alex Reynolds. John Silver. Serious pre-tape video for 2 minutes. We then get Trent and Orange Cassidy. Oh, sorry, Trent against John Moxley. Trent is with Chuck Taylor and Orange Cassidy. Is this the main event? No. That is fine. Moxley rolls up the ramp and Trent dives with a plancha only to eat a boot followed by the paradigm shift onto the ramp. Moxley rolls Trent back in the ring and hits a second paradigm shift for the win. After the match, Sammy Guevara comes through the crowd and reminds him that the IC has a big surprise for him tonight. Chris Jericho appears on a big screen standing out on the street. Jericho says that Moxley is the premier wrestler in the world and that's why they want him. Let's get that in. Jericho says Mox is the premier wrestler in the world and that's why the Inner Circle wants him. Jericho says there are other factions in the company looking for new members, but he wants Moxley to lead the Inner Circle. He offers him 49% of the Inner Circle LLC and then shows off a Ford GT and says if he joins the group, it's his. The license plate on the car says Mox on it. Think about how dominant we can be. We can take control of AEW. Moxley says he's always considering Jericho a friend and a mentor, and out of respect, he'll give him his answer in person. John Moxley says he will give Jericho his answer next week. Chris Jericho cutting a promo, same with John Moxley. Sammy on character development. We then have, let me find it, Sammy Guevara against Dustin Rhodes. Back in the ring, Rhodes gets a near fall before Hager gets on the apron to distract Dustin. Dustin then backdrops Guevara over the top onto Hager. Rhodes rolls Guevara back in the ring and hangs his legs in the corner. Rhodes attempts the Shattered Dream, but the referee cuts him off and won't let him do it. Hager kicks Rhodes in the balls as the referee was getting Guevara untangled and Guevara pins him. Sammy Guevara. Outside interference finish on Dustin by Jake Hager. Private Party are partying backstage when annoyed Adam Page walks up and pours himself a drink. They tell Page they're worried about him, and Page says they shouldn't be worried because he could kick both their asses. Private Party say they are worried for Hangman. He says they shouldn't be, as he could kick both their asses. Kick both asses. That's fine. We know what we're saying. Mark, Isaiah, Hangman. So it's Kenny Omega and PAC off screen. Can you believe what happened with PSG last night? MJF and Wardlow saunter their way down to the ring to give MJF stipulations for the match with Cody. MJF says that if Cody wants a rematch with him, it has to happen on pay-per-view with Revelation. It says his match against Cody will be on pay-per-view. And if Cody touches him before that, it's off. MJF says Cody has to go one-on-one with Wardlow in a steel cage first. Yeah, that's fine. MJF says Cody has to beat Wardlow in a steel cage, and Cody will have to allow MJF to whip him with a belt 10 times on live TV. MJF cutting a promo, on Cody, who's off screen. Wardlow on not on intimidation. 5 mins is fine. Jungle Boy says taking Jericho to the limit was the biggest match of his career. Jungle Boy cutting a promo on Chris Jericho. Rio is cutting a promo when Britt Baker walks up and taunts her for never being around. She says Riho stole her win tonight. Rio's cutting a promo when Baker erupts her and taunts her for never being here. Riho cutting a promo with Britt Baker. Which storyline is Britt Baker in? It's all Joshi wrestling. I think it's tip Riho. Yeah. Can remove Britt from this and add Britt in a major way. Then King Kong is kind of the Chris Statlander doobly one. Backstage interview. The Nightmare family will face the Lucha Brothers next week, and Private Party will face Omega and Page. So our main event is a 3v3 of Kenny Omega, Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson taking on Penta, Bandido and PAC. The Bucks hit a super kick party on Pentagon and Phoenix tags PAC in, then goes for a springboard spinning enziguri, only to eat a knee strike in midair from Omega, followed by a one-winged angel for the pin. Perfect. Cody Rhodes comes out to celebrate with the Elite, and they all try to get Hangman to join in, but he refuses. So Mox Omega, yeah, it kind of includes. I bet we should make PAC major in this. This kind of PAC, Omega, Hangman. We could probably alter this and do cowboy shit. Drunken cowboy shit. Perfect. Le Champion. That's kind of fine. John Moxley can probably be removed from this and add him just in a minor role with Le Champion. John Moxley's probably more in a major one. We can probably remove Cody. Put him with Darby in supporting. Remove MJF. Butcher. We can. Butcher with the Blade supporting. MJF with the Bunny supporting. Let's also add AEW, the Nightmare. It's already storyline. The American Nightmare of Wardlow, MJF, and Cody. So SCU later is kind of the tag division storyline, that's fine. We can add Kenny Omega and Hangman to this. Boop. That's fine. Deathmatch Chairman, Dark Order, that's kind of going on. American Nightmare, SCU later, Les Champion. A little bit of the bubbly. I'm going to set him off a fun name. All Joshi Wrestling, that's fine. Bucks against LAX. I think that's kind of going on. King Kong, that's kind of loosely going on. Let's add Dr. Luther, Melanie Cruz, Jun Kasai. Yeah. All seems good there. Now they're up to date. Cody comes out to celebrate with the Elite, but Hangman refuses and leaves. Cody, Hangman, Kenny, Nick Jackson, and Matt Jackson. At ringside and technically on commentary for the last match is Hangman Page, not Akira Shida. Oh, he's injured, so he can't be. That's fine. He should be back soon enough, question mark. Oh, he's back in 11 days. Easy. We can sub him out for a match against Private Party. So we just need to get our Wardlow against Face Male. Tommy Dreamer is fine. And then maybe a 2v2. Let's do Ray Horace, who's a heel, along with... Excuse my croaky little throat. Along with Lindemann to take on Face Male. Once again, I'm having a Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. Perfect. Let's run the show. 67%, so we'll not be penalised. Happy, happy, happy. If I keep Tommy Dreamer strong, is he still going to kind of be annoyed? I would understand why. Oh no. In an extremely short pre-show match, Wardlow defeated Tommy Dreamer in 4 minutes with a Splash Mountain Powerbomb. And Jurassic Express defeated Ray Horace and Lindemann when Jungle Boy pinned Horace. We got the AEW Dynamite opening and a highlight video of AEW in 2019. Vignette hypes up Darby. Storyline. The American Nightmare. We can also kind of add Darby in a supporting role. And about that great wrestling and good heat, Cody defeated Darby in 11:45 by pinfall with a surprise roll-up. SCU are cutting a promo when Guevara comes in and says Daniels doesn't have it anymore. In a terrible wild brawl, Riho defeated Nyla Rose, Hikaru Shida and Britt Baker when Riho pinned Nyla with a Northern Lights suplex to make defense number 3 at the AEW Women's World title. Rose attacks Riho after the match and puts her through a table. Janela is backstage when he's low-blowed by Penelope Ford and Kip Sabian. Evil Uno says the Elite has fallen, and soon you shall see the true reach of the Dark Order. Jon Moxley defeated Trent Beretta in 13:37 Elite by submission with a bully choke. Jericho says Moxley is the premier wrestler in the world, and that's why the Inner Circle wants him. Jon Moxley says he'll give Jericho's answer next week. In a decent match, Sammy Guevara defeated Dustin Rhodes in 9:31 by pinfall with a Go to Hell, following interference from Jake Hager. Private Party said they're worried for Hangman. He says they shouldn't be, as he could kick both their asses. MJF says that his match against Cody will be on pay-per-view, and if Cody touches him before that, it's off. He also says that Cody will have to beat Wardlow in a steel cage, and Cody will have to allow MJF to whip him with the belt 10 times on live TV. Jungle Boy says taking Jericho to the limit was the biggest match of his career. Riho's cutting a promo when Baker interrupts her and taunts her for never being here. In a good match, Omega and the Young Bucks defeated PAC and the Mexa Brothers when Omega pinned Penta with a cross-legged fisherman's buster. Cody comes out to celebrate with the Elite, but Hangman refuses and leaves. Nice. I'll take a 77. Dustin broke his foot. He'll be back in a month, but he can work through it. Popularity, it is going up elsewhere. We finally got it up in the southeast from 69 to 70. I doubt we'll ever get to a size that's big. But I don't mind hovering around the medium range. Matt Hardy has a contract offer, so is Brody Lee. Dustin Rhodes is hurt. Could Jeff Hardy be gone? Rival offer is fair, to be honest. To be honest, when these people do need to be hired... Was he retired? When these people do come out of... What was it off of the thing? Shortlist Jeff Hardy. Yeah, when it does come to the time that I need to hire these people, I will just adjust their contracts. That's fine with me. Zack Ryder's getting a contract offer. Rusev staying? Question mark. Aiden English. Could Heath Slater be out? Could Bo Dallas? It's always interesting to see who they do keep and who they do get rid of. Tony Schiavone, MLW have made a contract offer. They're only small, so it shouldn't be the end of the world. Cody thinks Wardlow's charisma. And Dustin thinks Shida is going to be a star. And Jerry Lynn thinks Riho is. How did NXT doing this time? 81, that's fine. Steve Cutler and Johnny Gargano defeated Montez Ford and Leo Rush. We did Omega and the Bucks against PAC and Mexa Brothers. Alright, we can continue. So who's wrestling on the next one? We have Paige and Omega against Private Party. We can add in Kota Ibushi, that's always fine. Riho took on Chris Statlander with Riho retaining. Daniels takes on Sammy Guevara with Guevara winning. Lucha Brothers take on the Brotherhood with Arn Anderson. Jurassic Express take on the Best Friends in a trios match. And that's the end of it. Perfect. Should be a solid little show, should be easy enough. Depending on how long it takes, might call it there. I think three TV shows is a solid amount. I've managed to get so much stuff rendered and that's nice. He asked for his release from AEW. Matt Hardy opens up about Tony Khan losing recent WWE debutant. A former AEW name competing for TNA recently made his debut in WWE. And now wrestling veteran Matt Hardy has shared his perspective on the talent in question, Mike Santana. Did Mike Santana just debut in WWE? The Nasty Assassin made headlines recently after appearing on NXT for the very first time at Battleground earlier this month. Shortly after, Santana wrestled his first match on the brand's weekly TV show, defeating Tavon Heights at the No Catch Quarter. The 34-year-old star seems to be aiming towards the TNA World Championship. I like the fact that Santana is getting the opportunity to move into the upper echelons of TNA, top-level talent, and the work in championship matches, in main events. He's a guy who's busted his ass since he left AEW. Big respect for Mike because he bet on himself. He asked for his release from AEW. He left AEW. He didn't see a chance for him to move up the roster, or how management perceived him, and he bet on himself. He went to TNA and now he's been killing it. Fair. I didn't even see Mike Santana in NXT. I feel like I'm missing all these things. Mike Santana NXT. That is most certainly Mike Santana in NXT. Fair play to himself for being there. He's a solid little talent. He'll do some fine things. As long as he's happy, that's all that matters. I don't really think AEW needed him too much. If it was like Eddie Kingston going there, then I'd be like, yeah, that's fair. That is a big talent that they wasted. No, nothing against Proud and Powerful, but to me they were the Briscoes. I feel like the Briscoes were always better as a team. I didn't care for Jay Briscoe's solo run. Same with the Bucks get it. You know what I mean? Like the Bucks know they're a tag team, staying as a tag team, work as a tag team. No one's paying to see Nick Jackson. Half the time I imagine most people sorry, I thought I recognised that name, but it was Matanza Prataha. I imagine most people can't even tell the Bucks apart. I can't off the top of my head. Nick the blonder one. I kind of feel the same with both the Briscoes and Proud and Powerful. Like you could see with the Rockers that Shawn Michaels was the star. That wasn't just a tag team. But what do I? One of Top Flight managed to make himself kind of stand out and be a star on his own. And then I think he got injured. Or the other one returned and then they didn't know what to do. Where's the workers leaving? Who do we? Oh, no one's officially left yet. I'll be interested to see who does. Defiant are in financial ruin. That's fair, I feel like they still are. I thought I said Walter was the booker there. Couple split, Tamura and Shida. Understandable enough. House show. Brody Lee's extended his deal. So has Matt Hardy. Mercedes Martinez's contract's ending. We can just keep you on a written. You do eventually go to WWE, but that's up to you, to be honest. We could get AEW Dark, but I just don't know if we need to. We could just carry on with this. That's fine. I'd only use Dark to auto-book some people. Oh, they have 120 wrestlers on the roster at the moment. No wonder I'm losing so much money. Yeah, we've got it. Smoke if you got him. Carry on. AEW Dynamite. No one gets the night off. Did we go somewhere else? Where's our next biggest? Great Lakes. Because we're not going to make money anyway, so. Locker room incidents. Andrew Everett is being influenced by John Moxley. Sonny Kiss did some fun drawings. Brandy got an argument with Excalibur. DDP ran some drills, so did Cody. Matt Seidel has been passing on tips to Nick Wayne. Do some team bonding to start the year out. Strengthened a whole bunch of relationships, specifically Bret Hart and Takeshi Morishima. As usual, our AEW Dynamite opening. A little hype, pre-taped video, 3 minutes. Jericho, Cody, Mox, Kenny Omega. Now we can add Jim Ross, DDP. I'll use Bret Hart for something at some point. So we have Hangman and Kenny Omega against Private Party. We don't have Hangman still, I believe, yet. So instead we can do Kota Ibushi and Kenny Omega taking on Private Party. Paige clotheslines Cassidy to the floor and then walks into a series of forearms from Quen. Quen goes to kick Omega, but Omega flips him right into a Pele on Paige. Omega knees Quen in the head and he and Paige hit the Buckshot Lariat V-trigger combo. Omega hits the One-Winged Angel for the pin as Paige holds Cassidy back. So let's make this Kenny Omega steal the show. PAC appears on the big screen, choking Nakazawa. PAC appears on the screen, choking Dango. And demands a 1-on-1 match against Omega. Perfect. Paige urges Omega to help his friend, but Paige stays at ringside and takes pictures with fans and drinks with them instead. Do we not have him? Oh, Dan Shoku. There he is. And Kenny. Brandy Rhodes joined commentary for the next match, and it's Riho against Chris Statlander for the AEW World Women's Championship. Statlander attempts a tombstone, but Kong trips her legs while Brandy distracts the ref and Riho rolls her up for the win. Distraction on Chris Statlander by Brandy. Interference on Chris Statlander by Awesome Kong. Perfect. The Nightmare Collective attack Riho and Statlander until Hater and Shida save. So we have Awesome Kong, Brandy, Dr. Luther, Jun Kasai. We don't need Jun Kasai yet. Melanie Cruz. Riho, Ikura Shida, Chris Statlander, and Jamie Hayter. Hayter? I hardly know her. Vignette highlighting the team of Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford. The team of Kip, Sabian, and Penelope Ford. A 2 minute. It's a hype pre-taped video. Kip and Penelope. We then have Christopher Daniels against Sammy Guevara. Guevara lifts Daniels up to the top rope and climbs up with him, but Daniels shoves him off. Guevara lands on the ropes and then charges at Daniels, but Daniels sidesteps him and connects with an STO. Pentagon Jr. comes out on the ramp and taunts Daniels about whether he can hit a split-legged moonsault. Guevara superkicks Daniels in the back of the head for the win. Distraction on Christopher Daniels by Penta. The Dark Order come to the ring. And offer Christopher Daniels a spot with them. He says no, so they beat him down until SCU save. Uno offers Daniels a spot with them. He says no, so they... Perfect. Evil, Stu, Alex Reynolds, John Silver, Christopher Daniels, Frankie, and Scorpio. So the Dark Order, if we do SCU later, not really fully in it. Let's just add Christopher Daniels, Frankie, and Scorpio. We then have the Lucha Brothers versus the Brotherhood. Battle of the Brothers, Battle of the Brothers. Mexa Brothers against the Brotherhood. This should be fine with him being injured. Dustin catches a charging Pentagon with a power slam and then a diving Phoenix with an atomic drop. Dustin hits an American Destroyer on Pentagon, and then Cody hits the Cody Cutter. Dustin hits the final Reckoning on Phoenix for the pin. Tony Schiavone comes down to ask Cody if he's going to accept. Asks Cody if he's going to accept. But Anderson interrupts and says he doesn't know how MJF thinks he has the stroke to lay down the demands, and says they'll talk about the match next week and get back to him with a decision. Says they will get back to him next week. MJF cutting a promo, Cody, and Wardlow on intimidation. Where is the American Nightmare? Let's add Anderson in a major role. MJF with Wardlow. Call Cody a coward. DDP comes out and calls MJF a motor-mouth jack-off, and then makes fun of Wardlow's man bun. DDP says that everyone's been asking him if he's coming back for one more match. MJF says that even in his prime, DDP could never lace his boots, and now he couldn't even hold his jockstrap. DDP gets in his face, but MJF says he doesn't want to fight him. Out come the Butcher and the Blade. MJF says that WCW is dead, and so are most of DDP's fans. DDP grabs MJF by the throat, and then kills the Butcher with a diamond cutter. The Blade attacks DDP, but then eats a diamond cutter too. Ali gets in the ring and distracts him as MJF goes to attack him. DDP goes for the diamond cutter, but MJF shoves him into Wardlow, and MJF kicks him in the nuts. MJF says what's about to happen to Cody's mentors on him. They continue to attack him till Dust and QT save. DDP comes out. But it's jumped by Butcher, Blade and Bunny until Dustin and QT save. MJF calls Cody a coward. DDP comes out, but is jumped by Butcher, Blade and Bunny until Dustin saves. That's fine. Diamond Dallas Page, cutting a promo. MJF, cutting a promo. Wardlow, intimidation. Blade, Butcher, Bunny, non-speaking role. Dustin and QT character development, I guess. The American Nightmare. Let's add DDP in a major role. Perfect. Happy with that. Do you want to check the weather and see if it's still going to start raining? Because I'd like to stick me washing outside, but the rain's been a bit on and off. It is meant to dribble again soon. Nice by 3 o'clock though, so that should be fine. Yes. Perfect. We have a trios match between Jurassic Express and Best Friends. Jungle, Lucha and Marco against Chuck, Trent and OC. Marco hits the Jurassic Destroyer, on Trent. Marco climbs up on Lucha's shoulders and Lucha tosses him over the top onto OC and Trent. Taylor goes for a powerbomb on Jungle Boy, but Jungle Boy catches him with a Hurricane Rana for the pin. Jungle Boy, loser can be Chucky T. Perfect. Jim Ross confirms that DDP is making his in-ring return next week as he teams with QT and Dustin against the Butcher, the Blade. Come on. We won't include that. Not a match. In fact. Mox comes down to the ring with the inner circle. Jericho asked for his decision. And Mox says yes, he will join. They all celebrate until John says he was only joking and the only thing that he is after is the AEW World title. He fights with all of the IC until a match against Hager is made. Mox says yes, he will join. Not. The only thing he's after is the AEW World title. 5 minutes. Try to make that a bit longer actually. Chris Jericho cutting a promo. John Moxley. Santana and Ortiz, yeah. Character development. Ortiz. Jake Hager. Sammy Guevara. And then we have a quick 1v1. John Moxley against Jake Hager. 15 minutes. Storytelling at ringside. Chris Jericho. Santana. Ortiz. Sammy. Moxley. Slams. Hager. Onto the car. Moxley slams Moxley slams Hanger. Slams Hager onto the car. Jericho got him. And then poses with the title. There we go. John Moxley cutting a promo. Chris Jericho, character development. Jake non-speaking role. Sammy, Santana, Ortiz. And that ends the show. What are we missing? A wild brawl. Oh no, Dustin wrestling with a hurty foot. That is fine with me. Let's stick Wardlow over face mail. Colt Cabana. What if we keep you strong, Colt? Nice. 2v2. Let's do male. Exclude already booked. Let's have Evil Uno and is Stu Grayson here? He is not. Is Stu Grayson recognisable? There he is. Evil Uno and John Silver taking on Faces, Dino and Garrison. Pre-show, let's stick Evil Uno over. Nice. Wardlow defeats Colt Cabana in 7:14 by pinfall with Splash Mountain Powerbomb. Colt Cabana with a 78 is mental. The Dark Order defeat Danshoku Dino and Griff Garrison in 8:36 when Evil submitted Dino. We get the AEW Dynamite opening. In a bout which had great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, Kota and Omega defeated Private Party when Omega pinned Isaiah with a cross-legged Fisherman's Buster. PAC appears on the big screen choking Dino and demands a one-on-one match against Omega. Subpar Wrestling and Little Heat, Riho defeated Statlander in 13:48 by pinfall after a distraction by Brandy Rhodes. We also had Awesome Kong attack Statlander. Riho makes defense number 4 at the AEW Women's World title. The Nightmare Collective attack Riho and Statlander until Hater and Shida save. We got a vignette hyping the team of Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford. And in a decent match, Sammy Guevara defeats Christopher Daniels in 12:52 with a go to hell after a distraction from Penta. The Dark Order come out to the ring and offer Christopher Daniels a spot with them. He says no, so they beat him down until SCU save. In a good wild brawl, the Brotherhood defeated the Mexa Brothers. See, it still did great even though he was injured. When Dustin pinned Penta with a lifting reverse DDT. MJF asks Cody if he's going to accept and says they'll get back to him next week. MJF with Wardlow call Cody a coward. DDP comes out and says, "How dare you say that?" MJF's like, "You couldn't even lace my boots. All your fans are dead." He is jumped by the Butcher, the Blade and the Bunny until Dustin and QT save. In a bout which had decent wrestling but didn't have much heat, Jurassic Express defeated Best Friends when Jungle Boy pinned Chuck Taylor. Mox comes down to the ring with the Inner Circle. Jericho asks if he makes his decision. Mox says yes, he will join. They all celebrate until John says he was only joking. The only thing he is after is the AEW World title. He fights with all the IC until a match against Hager is made. and then a bout which had great heat and decent wrestling. Mox defeated Jake Hager in 1450 with a bully choke. Moxley slams Hager onto the car Jericho got him, then poses with the title. Fair, not the best show he put on. Lost Pop in 2 regions, but can't win them all. I've gone from 69 to 70, god damn it. We're just getting that pop up there. Vicky Haskins. I wonder what Mark Haskins is up to these days. I used to be big into my British scene, but kind of fell off. What does it say more recently? What's his last thing? ...2017... I mean, it still mentioned Jimmy Havoc, so... I forgot he was in Ring of Honor, wasn't he? Mark Haskins. Oh, it looks like as of 2024, he is just kind of full-time back in the UK. He did wrestle a bit for Defy. Who did he wrestle in Defy? He lost to Artemis Spencer. There was a period where he was just kind of wrestling in Ring of Honor. Perfect. WWE Rejection, who is it? That's fair. I would also get rid of Brodus Clay. Nice, thank you. Snowfalls. With that said, I'm going to end the stream here. Thank you so much for hanging out. Did we beat NXT this week, sorry? We did not. Absolutely not. Oh, I suck at this game. Sorry, I didn't even see your message. You know what? Since you've just tuned in, we'll do another show. We'll do another show. I won't end. We'll do one more. We'll do one more. I've got no plans. I was only going to play Red Dead 2. Let's do another Dynamite. Look at that. As soon as the people come in. Just seen I was live, yeah. There isn't really a set time. Someone asked me that recently, being like, "Is there any kind of schedule?" And it's just like, I definitely won't on a Wednesday. That's about the gist of it. I am glad that I can be the most suitable of all the most suitable of all the background noise. So I need someone to replace DDP in USA wrestler to hire. I don't really know what I'm doing right now. There we go. More or less. It depends if I'm at work or not. So it is generally like I am off for a bit at the moment. So it is just completely random. Tom Lawler, Tessa, Martinez. Remember Nick Aldis was too big to join. Too big to join all in. Who can we do instead of DDP? I guess let's do... Who did I think? Nick Aldis. Handshake, pair show. Let's get him for 3 months. Oh, what other offer have you got? Oh, just handshakes, easy, man. Yeah, I just thought RVD won't get the best of ratings. He is NWA United States Tag Team, to be fair. Who's he tag team champs with? Fucking Darren Young. Jay Lethal, I'm just not huge on. I've never really liked Jay Lethal. So what's going on with the NWA? Who's NWA champion? I forget NWA went from a company to a... Felt insignificant. Is it Jey Uso who's world champion? Let's place our bets. Looking at this list of people, who could be NWA world champion? I'm going to say Dapo. I miss Elijah Burke. National television. NWA World Heavyweight. If it's Brodus Clay, I quit. It's Jey Uso. It was the Pope. The Pope did win it. I at least get bonus points for that. I at least get bonus points. Is that Jey? Yeah, it's Jey Uso, yeah. Impact X Division and NWA World Champion. That kind of slaps. Jey Uso. Oh yeah, he is. There he is. My man, to be fair, has been doing bits since being released from WWE after the Royal Rumble. What's other Uso doing? Is he still with the company? If I just search Fatty. Jimmy Uso. Yep, still with the company. Just lost to Austin Aries. Fair. He's just in the IC title picture. They got rid of the wrong one, I believe. I can't remember which one was the troublemaker. I think Jimmy Uso's. I don't know. Personal details. Nothing. Personal details. One of them's the drinker. That's all I know. You know, what time is it? It's 2 o'clock. Oh, speaking of drinking. Back on it, boys. I suppose. Wait. Oh, what a shame. Let's just continue to Dynamite. Alright, we'll check the next show actually to see if there's anyone we haven't hired. I'll just use... I don't know actually. Should we find out? Simon Gotch. Part of the Contra stable alongside Jacob Fatu, Joseph Samuel and Kurikwan. Just because it's in his bio. So AEW Dynamite results. Copy. Oh, Andrew, I saw you also subscribed to the YouTube account. Whenever I speak like this, I feel like I sound like, you know, when you watch 60-year-old men metal detecting on YouTube, and they've just about kind of got the algorithm down. Yeah, I saw you subscribe to it. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I hope you enjoyed that. It was a double upload the other day. You helped save that number because I got to 69 and someone why I don't drink? Got to 69 and someone unsubscribed straight after a WWE TW video. But then as soon as I put the Tony Hawk's one on, two subscribers. You don't know what the people want these days. Alright. What's happening at... Oh, it's the Bash at the Beach edition. Oh, it's when Rocky Johnson died. So, Omega and Adam Page against Proud and Powerful, best friends in the books. That's fine. Cody Rhodes and MGF. Joey Janela is backstage. The Nightmare Collective take on Chris Statlander and Shida. That's fine. Dark Order vignette. Guevara defeats John Moxley. Oh, he doesn't defeat him, wrestles him. Butcher and the Blade take on DDP, Cutie and Dustin. In the main event, PAC takes on Darby. Solid, everyone's fine. Anything happen after the main event? No, that's fine. That's the problem with these kind of shows. With like early AEW is you never really knew when someone was going to debut. So I feel like you have to kind of... I don't want to be caught off guard. That happened in the early stages of this save, where I forgot when John Moxley debuted and didn't have him hired. Which is mortifying. I couldn't believe it. I started a WWE save in 2018 on this save. Mod. Yet last night, and got everything sorted. I was like, I'm going to change the Universal title to be Undisputed. I'm going to change Superstars to be Velocity, and change all the events to be older school ones and stuff like that. And then I just got onto, I accidentally booked 4 episodes of NXT, because I didn't realise they were taped 4 at a time, which was awful. The least amount of fun. And then I had to start booking SmackDown, which the mod has SmackDown on a Friday, and it was actually on a Tuesday. And I was just like, I can't be arsed booking Randy Orton against Jeff Hardy. So I just went to a 98 save and started booking the Royal Rumble. I think there's just some aspects of modern wrestling, or at least wrestling in the past 10 years almost at this point, that just doesn't appeal to me. Outside of AEW, because it's still kind of fresh. You know what I mean? Like, I look at any time I need a book, I don't know, The Authors of Pain, or, I don't know, Nia Jax. I have thought about that, but I'm really not very creative. I do have one where I'm running my own company in 1992. That is a save I've been doing pretty regularly, actually. And I do my own stories and matches there. And that seems to be going alright. But when it comes to like a big company, like WWE or WCW or something like that, I falter. I'm not creative enough, and I would do what people complain about Tony Khan or Triple H doing, where the same people just get booked all the time, despite hiring everyone. I think the only ones where I was doing my own matches is I did a 2004 Smoky Mountain Wrestling save for a bit, which I might go back to. I was enjoying that. A 1992 company. Oh yes, hang my pages back. And one in 1970. But the 71 seems to have dropped off. We don't mention that save anymore. Puma King's Rising. It's too easy to start a new save constantly. Jessica Troy and Caveman Ugg have really bonded. Ooh, how was NXT UK TakeOver January 2020? T-Bone defeated Ashton Smith and Mark Andrews to retain the NXT UK. Kenny Williams defeated Angel Cruz. Killer Kelly defeated Ginny and Zoe Lucas. The Ultimate Warriors, which is very on the nose for WWE, defeated Morgan Webster and Callum Newman. Tom Dawkins, man, what happened to Cara Noir? Years ago, I used to do a WWE Interactive Universe where followers got their own superstars. And I would book. See, that stuff's cool. I like that. And I've always liked when people do that. But I couldn't be the person doing it. I'm just not creative enough. And that isn't even me putting myself down. I'm just not. Every storyline kind of ties into the same thing, and yeah. Yeah, some ideas would be helpful in something like that. Because I imagine it'd be a lot of pressure trying to book multiple people's characters at once. I got to a point one time where I was thinking of ideas and stories. Yeah. I have been at points where I've thought about saves while actually working. And that's when you know you've got like a good save going. I was thinking that this is boring. I was thinking that I need to do a shop. Well, I would ideally like to do a shop today, but I just don't think it's going to happen. But I'm off tomorrow, so I seem to be off every day these days. I'm off tomorrow. So I can just do it then, it'll be a bit quieter. What's for tea tonight, everyone? What we all having? Back to work tomorrow, I feel that. I've just started a new job, so I've kind of been unemployed for 2 weeks, which was scary and awful. Roast chicken tonight. It is Sunday after all. I start my new job on Wednesday, which is something. But because like I work in kitchens, usually your first week or 2 weeks of jobs is just kind of shadowing the head chef and seeing what shifts are like without being too involved. So I don't really have that many hours, which is going to be a nightmare because I am going to run out of money. But that's where we're at. You work in a school kitchen? That is interesting. I bet the hours and days are great. Was I going to check absences? Now Jack Evans is out 59 days, so at least he'll come back around Angelico. Is Ray Fenix back? He is. 40 hours a week, Monday to Friday. That's fair. To be fair, that sounds like the dream, if I'm completely honest. I used to have a chef job that was Monday to Friday, and it was the best. Loved it. No one wants to work evenings, man. No one does. Well, I've just left doing brunch because if I had to poach another egg, I probably would have killed myself. No one gets the night off. Let's make this dark and move on. Booking team. Oh, Caitlin, you always want to be here. Of course you can. Kenny Omega has a character idea. Rick Knox was in fine form. Frankie Kazarian and Alan Angels have been getting on. The Blade passed on tips to Blackwood. Daniels has been passing on tips to Austin Gunn. Matt Seidel passed on tips to Nick Wayne. DDP ran some drills. Cody ran some drills. Nice. Let's do some nice little team bonding to start it off. Everything went well. Bailey and DDP get on well. So this is our special AEW Bash at the Beach opening. Hi, pre-taped video. Perfect. So we go in straight away to the AEW Tag Team Titles #1 Contendership Fatal 4-Way Final between Kenny Omega and Hangman. Is Hangman back? He is indeed. Proud and Powerful, Best Friends, and the Young Bucks. Make this 14 minutes, steal the show. The Bucks go for the Meltzer driver, but Trent tosses Nick to the floor. Page tags himself and sends Nick Jackson crashing to the floor. Omega hits the V-trigger on Taylor, and then he and Page hit the V-trigger buckshot lariat combo for the win. Victor, big Hangman Page. Perfect. DDP is shown stretching backstage. DDP talks about the wrestler who he will be backing tonight against the Butcher and the Blade. DDP, nope, putting a promo on MJF. Blade, the Bunny, and the Butcher. Ooh, perfect. 3 minutes backstage. That's fine. Cody Rhodes comes to the ring to address MJF. Cody says he thinks MJF is afraid that the fans will think MJF should be carrying Wardlow's bags, not the other way around. Cody says he has no issue with wrestling Wardlow in a cage match or the lashes. I don't need to touch you until Revolution, Max, because I live rent-free inside your head every day. Cody says about the final stipulation, and Cody says MJF is stalling. Cody makes fun of MJF's rich childhood, and says he clings to all the old timers that boost him up and says he's an old school heel. Cody accepts all the stipulations and says that he failed as a mentor to MJF, but he can give him one last lesson. Cody accepts all of the stipulations and says he failed as a mentor to MJF. Ooh, that's just Cody, not Orange Cassidy. Cody cutting a promo on MJF and Wardlow. Janela says backstage. Joey Janela backstage says the only way Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford can get themselves over is at his expense. Janela says only way Kip and Penelope can get over is at his expense. Nice. Just a cheeky little Joey cutting a promo on Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford after they attacked him backstage last week. We then have the Nightmare Collective of Brandy Rhodes and Mel taking on Chris Statlander and Hikaru Shida. Mel goes for a tombstone, but Statlander counters into the Big Bang Theory for the win. We can probably make this one We'll keep it regular for now. Dark Order vignette talks about recruiting Brandon Cutler and Man Page. Evil Uno cutting a promo with Stu Grayson. Both cutting a promo. Let's have John Silver, non-speaking role with Alex Reynolds. Talking about Hangman and Cutler. Happy. We then have Sammy Guevara against Jon Moxley. Moxley pulls Guevara up to the top rope for a super paradigm shift, but Guevara blocks it and hits the Spanish Fly. Guevara goes for the TKO, but Moxley counters into a paradigm shift attempt. Guevara blocks it and hits the GTS, but Moxley kicks out. Guevara goes up top for a moonsault, but Moxley catches him in midair with a rear naked choke for the win. Jon Moxley, Wild Brawl. Jericho's music hits and the lights go out. When they come back on, the rest of the IC has appeared in the ring and put the boots to Moxley. Jericho uses the world title to whip Moxley. Jericho pulls a spike off his jacket and stabs Moxley in the eye. The lights go out and the inner circle are in the ring attacking Moxley. Jericho uses one of his spikes to stab Mox in the eye. Chris Jericho, Jon Moxley, and then we have Sammy. God, I'm missing all my clicks. Santana, Ortiz, and Jake Hager. Backstage, Jericho says what happened is Jon Moxley's own fault. Backstage, just Chris Jericho cut the promo on Jon. We then have the 6-man tag, a 3v3 of MJF, the Butcher, and the Blade, taking on QT Marshall, Dustin Rhodes, and Nick Aldis, who hasn't seemed to have signed. Oh shit. Okay. What's it saying? Book the same person twice. Ugh, right. He's actually not signed yet. God, what took him so long? Alright, might have to find a local worker. Vladimir Kozlov could be a pop. It's Tanker. Part of me is actually tempted by Scott Steiner. If he was active. We should just get Omos in. Oh, there's young Mariah May. Alright, it's not looking the great. Might have to do LA Park. Davey Richards. Goldberg would be mental. Should we? You'll see he's too big for a one night only. play, like. Fair play, yeah. Bill Goldberg it is. And it's QT, Goldust, Bill Goldberg. Dustin, you can... Oh, you're always injured. 12 minutes is actually fine. MJF is wearing an I Banged Dallas's Daughter shirt, which is mental. Diamond Dallas Page produces the man that will be taking his spot. An old friend, Billy Goldberg. Can't type Bill Goldberg. Can't type for shit. He won't appear anymore. We'll literally just have him for this. Diamond, cutting a promo, MGF. Perfect. Slightly too big for this show, but I suppose it's Bash at the Beach. What are you going to do? The winner is actually MJF, the Butcher and the Blade. Marshall tosses the Blade to the floor, and Rhodes dives off the apron onto Butcher and the Blade with a cannonball, followed by a QT special. Ali goes up top for a dive, but DDP stops her, then dives off with a plancha onto everyone. As Marshall slides back in the ring, MJF quickly rolls him up. It's a tainted win. MJF, loser, QT, flash pinfall. A drunken Hangman interrupts SCU and Omega pulls him away before a fight starts. Hangman, Kenny, Christopher, Frankie, Scorpio. And then finally with our main event of PAC against Darby Allin. PAC goes up top, but Allin cuts him off and climbs up with him. PAC headbutt Allin and then hits the Black Arrow to Allin's back for the win. With that, storytelling. Tony tries to interview PAC, but is cut off by Moxley, who says one eye or not. Who says he's kicking PAC's ass. Tony Schiavone, the interviewer, cutting a promo is PAC and John Mox. Perfect. 2 more minutes. We can literally just make this a little longer. Alright, what are we losing? No, Dustin just being injured. That's fine with me. Once again, let's get a nice little Wardlow victory over face, male Flamita. Pre-show, auto name, Wardlow, boom. 2v2. Let's exclude already booked. Let's have Riho and face. Let's do Riho and Kylie Ray taking on Mercedes Martinez and Anna Jay. Perfect. In a pre-show bout which had decent wrestling but didn't have much heat, Wardlow defeated Flamita in 5:45 with a Splash Mountain Powerbomb. Riho and Kylie Ray defeated Mercedes and Anna Jay when Riho pinned Anna Jay with a jumping knee attack. And we open Bash at the Beach. In a bout which had great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, Omega and Hangman defeated Proud and Powerful, Best Friends and the Young Bucks when Hangman pinned Matt Jackson with a buckshot lariat. DDP talked about the wrestler he will be backing tonight against the Butcher and the Blade. Cody Rhodes comes to the ring to address MJF. Cody accepts all the stipulations and says he failed as a mentor to MJF, but he's willing to teach him one last lesson. Janela says the only way Kip and Penelope can get over is at his expense. And in a poor match, Chris Statlander and Hikaru Shida defeated the Nightmare Collective of Brandy Rhodes and Mel Cruz when Chris pinned Melanie with an Area 451. We get a Dark Order vignette talking about recruiting Brandon Cutler and a Hangman Page as they both seem lost. Jon Moxley defeated Sammy Guevara in 13:59 by pinfall with a paradigm shift in a wild brawl. The lights go out and the Inner Circle are in the ring attacking Moxley. Jericho uses one of his spikes to stab Moxley in the eye. Backstage, Jericho says what happened to Mox is his own fault. DDP introduces the man that will be taking his spot, an old friend, Bill Goldberg. What was Bill Goldberg's in-ring rating? 57, that's fine, he was rusty. Dustin was also injured, so it was never going to be a great match. In a decent match, MJF and the Butcher and the Blade defeated QT Marshall, Dustin Rhodes and Bill Goldberg when MJF pinned QT with a fast roll-up. A drunken Hangman interrupts SCU and Omega pulls him away before a fight starts. There's so many spelling mistakes constantly in these. In a bout which had good heat and decent wrestling, PAC defeated Darby Allin in 2048 by submission with a brutalizer. Tony Schiavone tries to interview PAC but is cut off by Mox, who says he's kicking PAC's ass, one eye or not. For a very solid show, I'll take a 73. Isn't our best, but it's definitely not our worst. Happy with that. Jessica Troy seems to be popping up a lot on these news and loading screens. Jessica Troy. Trained by Madison Eagles and Adam Hoffman. Got an 8.22 on Cage Match. What's their career looking like? Oh, they wrestled in New Japan in 2023. Outside of that, it is predominantly Australian. Chikara in 2017 is mental. What did they wrestle in New Japan? And NWA? Oh, it was New Japan's Australian tour. I guess presumably it was also Australia's New Japan tour. Yeah. What did they wrestle at WrestleCon? WrestleCon USA vs. The World. Rachel Eleven defeated Jessica Troy. Did we beat NXT? We did not. They got an 80. Hanson defeating Kyle O'Reilly for the North American title. And Montez Ford and Leo Rush beating Ricochet and Aleister Black by DQ. Joanne Carpenter always in those ladder matches. Marcel and Cassius Ohno is also a great tag team to be together. Keith Lee and Jackson Riker is not though. Jackson Riker sucks eggs. No one new has left WWE yet. Mizumi's contract. We can get them on another handshake. It's not imperative. What, like 6 months? Who wants time to heal? John Moxley. That's understandable. I think we do have a picture of him now that he's going through that one eye gimmick. I don't know, something like that works. I just wish it was a little more to the left. Perfect. Happy with that. I don't think anything... Oh, now we have Nick Aldis. Draw for the offer. We don't need you anymore. I only wanted you for that show and we have to use Goldberg. Let's continue to the next Dynamite. Why not? I've got myself a drink now. It's Sunday. There's no roast for me today. To be fair, it's only 2 o'clock. I did think it was later. What happens on the next Dynamite? Because I suppose with this one being Bash at the Beach, it was kind of a bit more of a special episode. What day will it be? The 22nd. Paste AEW Dynamite results, January 22nd, 2020. Who can believe that we're, what, 5 years from what we're booking? Catching up though. We're not far off. Rhino staying with WWE. I saw a few people are going out of WWE. That's why I keep checking that. Oh, everyone wants pay rise request. Ethan Page, we haven't even used you. We can give you Paul Turner, I understand. Ali, I understand. And Chris Statlander, I do also understand. Ethan Page, I'm less understanding. So what happens on this episode of Dynamite? There is a tag title match between Adam Page, Kenny Omega and SCU. Priscilla Kelly takes on Britt Baker. It's a good job we have Priscilla Kelly. Jurassic Express take on the Inner Circle. MGF takes on Joey Janela. And then PAC takes on John Moxley in a #1 contendership match. That's a very solid show. That's a show they could put on now and it would probably still bang. Though I don't really know what half these, like, what are any of the members of SCU up to? I think, isn't Daniels retired? Frankie Kazarian left to go to Impact, and Scorpio Sky is doing a podcast with James Willems. Still no one left, fair enough. I thought people were leaving. What if we just did wrestlers, search, WWE, intention to hire? Alright, so these are the people that are confirmed to be leaving. Rey Mysterio's confirmed to be leaving again. He's not even a freelancer, he just re-signed. We had him for the very first All In. Just like straight after that show he signed with WWE. I thought that said he won the Royal Rumble. I'm tempted, but it's the same with general, like, AEW. It's like, where am I going to use him? Jeff Hardy I will hire. And he's going to kind of take the Matt Hardy spot because Matt's retired in game. Angelo Dawkins I don't need. Bo Dallas I don't need. Are they rehiring Dan Echoes? They are, that's fine. Tyrus I don't want. They're re-signing Rhinos. Connor I also don't care about. Flamita's contract is ending. I think again we could just stick them on another handshake deal for 6 months. Use them if we use them. And then Ryo, you can stay. Yeah, and I think Victor's still in the company. Search, reset. Yeah, he's still with the company. Well, what's the point? 1 win and 26 losses. His 1 win was defeating AJ Styles, a man who has since left the company. He's not even been injured, I don't think. No, he hasn't been injured. They're just not using him. I understand. I wouldn't use Rick Victor. Though I do miss them in NXT. They did do bangers. Well, not even bangers. They were just a solid dominant team. TARDIS Mechanic, hello, 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 how are you? Everyone's coming out the woodworks today. Oh, Battle of the Super Juniors is finished. I won't spoil for anyone that might watch. How are you, TARDIS Mechanic? I hope all is well. I'm okay, thank you. I have not. Triple H is still beating me constantly. Me being a fan of Ascension, I would sign them to AEW, give them a title run. Yeah, TK did not do that. It's just like, I could think about giving them a tag title run, but considering I think on the next show the titles are going to Kenny Omega and Hangman, I don't know if I'd ever put the Ascension over them. Sorry, I was just looking up recipes in my spare time. This sim, I don't know what it is. I know there's a lot of companies, but this Simon just seems to take a lifetime. Perfect. Dan Echoes is now staying with WWE, so that's fine. Don Callis, New Japan has made an extension too. What is it? Exclusive. Even Impact's going for exclusive written. You will not when he debuts in WWE. Not WWE. AEW. Flamita contract extension, that's fine. And we have Dynamite tonight, baby. No, Triple H is still beating us quite regularly. He's had the advantage of like 3 years worth of shows. While we have, like, we've just made it to 2020. Sorry, I'm thinking about food, and I was just wondering if I have ingredients that I need. What's Luther like on the mic? Let me check for you. Sorry, I'm also just wondering if I had, because if Luther's out on the mic, yeah, that could work. That would be a solid enough team. It's just where to fit them on the card. Trying to work out if I have ground flaxseed. I don't think I do. But maybe if the co-op do it, I might try making my own vegan burgers tonight. Just in case anyone's wondering. That's what goes through my mind during these loading screens. Daly's place is perfect. Doing a booking team meeting. I kind of liked... Oh no, I was going to say when Paul Ellering was the manager of the Ascension, but that was Authors of Pain. Jamie Hayter was in fine form before the show. Rick Knox found a karaoke machine. DDP ran some drills. Cody ran some drills. Tully Blanchard had an angle idea. Darby had a creative finish. Anna Jay is being influenced by Bailey. Some heat between Ray Horace and Excalibur. Same with Eddie Kingston and Excalibur. Matt Seidel passed on tips to Nick Wayne. Kenny Omega and Britt Baker had an argument. That's probably what happened in real life, am I right? Wrestling fans. Right. Got the AEW Dynamite opening. 3 minutes. Jericho, Cody, Mox, DDP, Jim Ross, Kenny Omega, Penta. Did I do all my... Oh, no. Hype. Pre-taped. Video. Oh, this is on the Cruise of Jericho, this show. So we have a 2v2 for the AEW World Tag Team titles. It's SCU against Omega and Hangman. It's a long one. Paige tosses Sky onto the ramp and then hits a powerbomb. Followed by a spring... Shit. Paige tosses Sky on the ramp, then hits a powerbomb on Daniels, followed by a spinning lariat. Paige hits the buckshot lariat onto Sky on the ramp, and then one for Kazarian in the ring, as we have new tag team champions. I think like a 15-minute steal the show. I reckon these boys have the stamina. With Hangman Page getting his first title. After the match, the Young Bucks run out to celebrate with the champs, but Page goes into the crowd. Nick Jackson, Matt Jackson, Kenny and the Hangboy. We then have Priscilla Kelly against Dr. Britt Baker. Kelly attempts a shining... that is, yes. That was very good, Andrew. That was very good. That one tickled me a few times. Kelly attempts the Shining Wizard, but Baker moves and hits a super kick. Baker with a Russian leg sweep and rolls into the lockjaw. Kelly almost gets the ropes, but Baker uses the ropes to kick herself off and roll back towards the centre of the ring while holding onto the lockjaw for the win. Tony interviews Baker, who insults his coffee skills. She taunts the crowd and the women and the wrestlers. Tony Schiavone is the interview. Britt Baker cutting a promo, which do on Rico. Perfect little 3-minute interview. Footage from Jericho's time limit draw with Jungle Boy shown. Chris Jericho and Jungle Boy. This is a pre-taped video. And then we have a 3v3 of Jurassic Express against Jericho and Proud and Powerful. Jungle, Lucha and Marco against just Jericho, Santana and Ortiz. Make this match the Wild Brawl. Jericho goes for a clothesline, but Marco ducks and rolls him up for another near fall. Marco gets another roll up for another near fall, but then gets decapitated with a Judas effect for the win. And then we're straight into MJF against Joey Janela. We can just put that there. MJF against Joey. Who I guess isn't here. MJF can go against an unrecognisable face, Colt Cabana. Why isn't Joey here? Where's he at instead? It's more important. Oh, he's injured. That makes sense. Back from break, Janela hits the superplex off the top for a near fall. Janela goes for a top rope flying elbow, but Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford come out to distract him. MJF moves out the way and hits a double cross for the pin. Cody comes out to greet MJF. MJF flips Cody off and starts walking up the ramp. Cody points out that the fans are calling him arsehole. Cody says MJF is right that he can't touch him, but the Young Bucks can. Cody says he can't touch MJF, but the Bucks can nail him with a super kick party. Cody asks the fans if they want MJF to be thrown in the pool, and the Bucks drag him in and toss him into the pool. Says he can't touch MJF, but the Bucks can. Nick and Matt Jackson super kick MJF into the ringside pool. Perfect. MJF cutting a promo with Cody, and then we'll just put Nick and Matt Jackson on character development. Tony interviews Omega and Paige. Paige says he whooped both of SCU's asses and he's clearly drunk. Schiavone asks Omega about PAC, and Omega says he's spoken to management or get a rematch at some point. The Young Bucks walk up and Paige is irritated. Paige mockingly says it's surprising they won the titles before Buck. Paige is drunk and makes fun of the Bucks. Tony Schiavone interviewing Kenny and Hangman. Let's have Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson on character development. And then PAC is off screen. Nice. And then we have our main event of PAC against Jon Moxley. PAC immediately locks in the brutalizer as they hit the mat. Moxley fights the hold and manages to drag himself to the ropes and break it. PAC pulls the bandage off his eye and just starts punching him in it. The referee pulls him away and Moxley rolls up PAC for a near fall. Moxley gets back up and hits the paradigm shift, and then another lifting paradigm shift for the win. And that's the end of it. Chris Jericho is in the crowd and he taunts an injured Moxley. And we can just add an extra minute to this, that's fine. Perfect. 78%, so it will not be penalised. Few people being used too much, that's fine. Let's once again stick Wardlow over face, male. Jimmy Jacobs should be fine. Pre-show, Wardlow goes over. Jimmy Jacobs is furious. What if we keep him strong? And he's fine. And then we have a 3v3 of heel women. Let's have... Oh, Britt Baker's already wrestling. Nyla Rose, Penelope Ford, and I guess not so evil Jamie Hayter. Maybe someone else. Happy with Baby Allison. Taking on faces. Miranda Alays, Nicole Savoy, Sadie Gibbs. And let's just stick Nyla Rose over. Perfect. In a decent pre-show match, Wardlow defeats Jimmy Jacobs in 7:24 by pinfall with Splash Mountain Powerbomb. Baby Allison, Nyla Rose and Penelope Ford defeat Nicole Savoy, Miranda Alays and Sadie Gibbs when Nyla Rose submitted Savoy with a camera clutch. We got the AEW Dynamite opening. And in a good match, Omega and Hangman defeat SCU when Paige pins Scorpio Sky with a dead eye to win the AEW World Tag Team titles. The Young Bucks run out and celebrate with the champs, but Paige goes into the crowd. In a poor match, Britt Baker defeated Priscilla Kelly in 10:43 by submission with a lockjaw. Tony interviews Baker, who insults his coffee skills and then taunts the crowd and the wrestlers. In a decent wild brawl, Inner Circle defeated Jurassic Express when Chris Jericho submitted Marco Stunt the Walls of Jericho. We then see footage of Jericho's time limit brawl with Jungle Boy. MJF defeated Colt Cabana in 12:53 by submission with a Fujiwara armbar in a match that was mental and Colt shouldn't be getting 84s. Cody comes out to greet MJF, and he says he can't touch MJF, but the Bucks can. Nick and Matt Jackson super kick Friedman into the ringside pool. Tony interviews Omega and Paige. Paige is drunk and makes fun of the Bucks. And then in our main event, in a bout which had fantastic heat and great wrestling, Mox defeated PAC in 26-26 with a bully choke. Chris Jericho is in the crowd as he taunts an injured Moxley. For what is absolutely our best show, without a shadow of a doubt. That couldn't have gone any better and could be maybe the only thing that rivals like an NXT show that we put on. Alright, what did we get? We got a 78. Our show was excellent, struck gold. Their show drew a lot of praise. Woo! 1, probably one of the worst woos I've done in my life. 2, eat shit NXT. Eat shit. Could it be because people keep getting called up? Maybe. I don't give a shit. Fucking main event Fabian Eichner and Dijak. That's a banger of a match though. Larkin, Biff Busick and Danny Burch win the tag titles. I'm the best. Oh, Laura Di Matteo's out injured. She's very good. I've watched her wrestle live. Jungle Boy talks well. Hell yeah, he does. And I book well. Suck my nuts, NXT. Let's just sim to the next show, and then we'll probably end it there, because 3-hour streams are mental. How's my eBay bid going on? I like to bid on books and see if I can get them cheaper. Still the max bidder, baby. It does have another 5 days and 2 hours, to be fair. God, it feels good to be a gangster. And I've barely even touched me can of cider. Will I get a couple more at the shop? Maybe I will now. Woo! Who sucks at this game? I don't suck at this game. Who do you think you are? I am. Yeah, if I can get some ground flaxseed. Good attempt. I don't even know if I have soy mince. I do not, but by the looks of it, I have soy chicken pieces, which are more or less the same, just a little bigger. Might be harder to mould into a patty, but we'll see. So I need to rehydrate the pieces in vegan beef broth. While it rehydrates, add everything but the flour and breadcrumbs to a bowl instead to combine. Once it's rehydrated, add it to the marinade. Add flour and breadcrumbs and combine. The mixture should come together and form a big meatball. Once you can make a patty, toss it from hand to hand to make sure it won't fall apart. Then just form them into your size. Do whatever you want. In case anyone's interested in how my cooking goes. But how long are we simming for? I stopped paying attention. I was focused on my food. If not, I have some like frozen vegan burgers. Perfect. Johnny Impact been hurt. It's not good for him. Oh, Yuka's contract in. What contract are they going for? Cause I literally just want to bring her in on a handshake. And that'd be fine with me. Yeah, it's fine. So, I don't know why they're exclusive handshakes. But, with that said, I want to thank you all for tuning in. This has been one of the longest streams I've done in a while. So thanks for hanging out and just kind of chatting with me. It always does mean a whole bunch. Stay safe, look after each other, have a lovely Sunday. Have a roast dinner for me. Thank you, Timu, for being here. I hope you all have a lovely tea. Up the ticks.